My name is Maryam Hassan. I am a spoken word performance artist, a gender advocate, and the founder of Through My Voice, which is a platform where we build the digital advocacy capacity of young storytellers. Yes, Alhan Islam is me. I am also known as Alhan Islam, and I am the product of my experiences, my culture, and my resistance. And I come from northern Nigeria. Economic power is definitely the backbone of freedom, especially for women in Nigeria. See, I grew up in northern Nigeria, and growing up in northern Nigeria, I saw firsthand how culture often dictates that women should remain silent and differential. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my culture, and it is a huge part of who I am, but I've never been the most obedient child of the North. And I have my limits when it comes to tradition, especially when it silences women. My journey with poetry didn't start as an art form. It actually started as a protest. I still remember the day that I witnessed my aunt being brutally abused and my mother, Hauwa Maina. She fought tooth and nail to protect her. That moment actually left a mark on me, and I wrote an open letter, my first act of defiance through words. And that letter wasn't just for me, it was for every woman who had been silenced. And it was my mother's economic independence that gave me the courage and resources to actually speak up. She had her own money, her own voice, and that meant she could stand up against the norms. And even when my father wasn't on board with my dreams, she supported me because she could. Being raised by a single mother who had the courage to walk away from an unfulfilling and abusive marriage was the greatest gift life could have given me. In a culture where most women are often expected to endure abuse in silence, my mother did something incredibly brave. She left and she thrived. She not only took care of herself, but she also took agency over her life. See, without her economic freedom, her legacy, and by extension, my own, might have been stillborn, like the countless dreams of women held back because of a lack of agency. Too many women remain trapped in situations they shouldn't have to endure, not because they want to, but because they cannot afford to leave. Economic power is not just about financial independence. It's about survival, choice, and the ability to craft your own narrative. So when a woman doesn't have economic autonomy, she is often forced to stay in harmful environments because she has no other option. And when you also talk about the North, we still see situations where people stay in marriages because they are not financially independent. And you find a situation where their parents also don't even want them to come back. And my hope sincerely is that that changes, and we have more people welcoming back their daughters when they're going through so much in marriage. And see, for me, watching my mother be and become has been the greatest gift, because I learned not only how to be, but how not to be. She gave me the resources, emotional and financial, to grow into the person I am today. And even though I didn't realize it at the time, as I grew older, I realized that not every woman has this kind of autonomy, and even some young creatives, especially in places like where I am from. They don't have the resources to amplify their voices. I am only Alhan Islam today because of my mother's economic power, her control over it, and her belief that a woman's voice is worth fighting for. And that's why I founded Through My Voice. It's not just about sharing stories, but about giving young storytellers, especially women, the resources my mother gave to me. Through My Voice exists to give young creatives a platform and opportunity to do what I have done, but in their own unique way. Economic power is the difference between a life lived on your own terms and one dictated by others. When a woman has control over her finances, she has control over her destiny. This issue isn't just about personal freedom. It affects our entire nation. See, when Nigerian women finally gain economic power, our homes, our communities, and our country will grow stronger. It's about using every resource at our disposal to ensure that every woman, every storyteller, every creative has the freedom to live a life of her own making And that starts with economic power.